Good morning, people of Facebook. I hope you are going to be joining us live this morning. A bit of announcement as the week has moved on, but hopefully we're on and we're working. So, if you are joining us live this morning, somewhere down in the bottom of the screen, there's a little blue thumbs up. Just click that in, tell us you're here, tell us you're with us, tell us you can see what's going on. And if you want to comment during the course of the video, I will try and find the comments. I have my old lady glasses ready to read the tiny print at the bottom of the screen. But this is a bit more of an information style thing today, and a bit less Q&A, but let's see how we go. Right, let's start with this. Who remembers this video? Let me see if I can get it in front of the screen. Can you see that? That was me with very, very short hair. Exactly 1 year ago today. How has that happened? A year ago today was the first attempt by me to stick my head above the parapet and say, oh guys, you know that coronavirus thing, this is going to be a bit problematic. And I did that little video a bit off the hoof, and to say that it's been a bit of a roller coaster of a ride since then for us all, absolutely, but certainly for me and my business would be pretty much an understatement. 12 months has been pretty fraught on occasion, massive learning curve all of the time. I've been incredibly grateful for all your fabulous feedback. Had some really lovely responses and thank yous, and that's been great. And I do hope, and I do know because of that feedback, that what we've done over the last 12 months has been super useful and super valuable for lots and lots of people. But it has not been the simplest of 12 months for us here. Team SG, as it currently exists, did not exist a year ago, and that's been created because of the volume of stuff that we've had to do. And it does feel for me personally a little bit as though the whole year has very much controlled me, and I haven't had very much control about my business and my activity. And you know that for me that's definitely been, we've definitely reached a point where that needs to change. And it doesn't mean that I'm going away and I'm never going to do anything like I've done in the last 12 months. We will keep providing you with content, more of which later. But something's got to give. Something's got to give. And as for everybody, no matter how on the face of it, people look as though they manage and they, you know, and perhaps have even thrived, and our business has certainly thrived during lockdown. We've all got our personal battles to deal with in the background, whether that's homeschooling, whether that's managing the rest of your family, whether that's challenges with mental health, whether that's well-being generally, or whether that's just looking at four walls and going, for goodness sake, I just want to be on a beach, and all points in between. So we have got our challenges as well, some particular at the moment, that's making me look again at what I'm doing and definitely take a bit of a shift in a slightly different direction. So this morning's live is really to tell you a little bit about what's going to happen, a little bit about what's not going to be happening quite so much, and to entice you to stay with us, because hopefully there's going to be something in this mix for everybody. We're going to keep on being here. We're going to keep on supporting you. We're going to keep on being a supplier's cheerleader in this roadmap. I'm going to call it that, although I'm not quite sure it's exactly what hashtag What About Weddings really had in mind when they said, can we have a roadmap, Boris? But you know, it feels like we're shifting into the next phase of this process. It doesn't mean it's finished. It just means we're in different territory. And as those lockdown easing dates start to roll out and we start to see a bit more detail and let's hope about what's going on, and undoubtedly the political and industry pressure continues to push, and I hope it does, we're moving to a different sort of time, and we as a business, Team Stanford Gould, Team SG, we need to move as well, because yeah, we just need to move into that space. So let me tell you a little bit about what's happening. So Team SG, you will have seen on the feed introduction to the fabulous Catherine, who's our VA and all things admin and social media. She joined me, oh goodness me, is that about 6 months ago now, Catherine? I'm not quite sure. I don't know how I've coped without her, quite honestly. So she is going to continue to manage lots of the social media stuff. So when you see things being posted, that's in the main. Brilliant work by Catherine. So that's fab, because it means there's two of us to try and keep the feed fresh and to try and keep on top of the admin in the groups and on the page. And if you've got any ideas for what we can talk about, what you'd like to hear about, then Catherine's all ears. And she and I are planning some stuff, more of which in a minute. And that's been fab. So it's brilliant to have her, and you'll see her name, Catherine Howe, come up on some of the posts, comments, admin, getting rid of some posts which are breaching the rules, naughty naughties, but I understand why. But she's around and she's fantastic, and she's helping me massively to keep this going on social media. And then in the last month, we've taken on a paralegal, the lovely Giselle, who we've not yet put in front of you, as it were, but we will be doing during the course probably of April. And she's going to be helping me with some of the actual legal stuff. So she's a second year law graduate, undergraduate, and we're doing some training and stuff with her at the moment, and we're going to unleash her to the group in due course. You won't be having any direct contact with her, but she's supporting me in doing some of the legal work that sits behind some of all of this stuff. So 2 members of Team SG. I'm still here, obviously, and that's helping me to create some time to start to reshape some of how we work and what we do. So the headlines of that, and this you're going to probably see come April. That I've got a couple of weeks off at April, so if anybody's been emailing me during March, you'll have got my out of office saying we're absolutely heaving with work, which we are. And I'm taking the first week or so of April off, and then when I come back after that, you're going to start to see some shifts and some changes. We're still running a waiting list for customers, so if you think you want something done, and I'm looking at the notes, and I can see Jenny said, I'm desperate for a new contract. There are a couple of solutions, but if you want bespoke, please get in touch and get your name down, as it were, on the list, because that rolling waiting list is probably not going to change very rapidly. So we will be not doing so much, or indeed almost any, dispute resolution advice, ad hoc stuff, when we've had requests for people saying, can I have an hour of your time to talk about this? Can you just have a look at that? I've got a problem with so and so. We're not going to be doing that from now. We're going to be pointing you to alternative options, but that's not something. It is something I can do. It's something I did for 20 years in private practice, but I didn't set this business up to replicate what I did before. I set this business up to do something that I wanted to do, and that was providing contracts and operational assistance to businesses. Of course, part of that is about dispute, and it's been a very, very big part of that in the last 12 months. But that part of our delivery is definitely going to shrink, and I'm going to be directing you guys to other places for that sort of advice. We're going to start to work with a smaller number of customers, some existing and some new, I very much hope. So this isn't a shut door by any means, but it's not going to be quite as open door. I'll help anybody I can within the limits of 8 working hours in a day, and sometimes 10 working hours in a day. It's going to be a little bit more limited, and we're going to have, I hope, a new retainer option for some customers. We're going to have a slightly different pricing, some options for people, but that's all to come. It's still a bit of a German in my head, and it relies on a couple of very lovely collaborators who I'm still dotting I's and crossing T's with, have been a bit knocked off course by things that are happening otherwise domestically this month, but that's coming. It's coming. I promise you it's coming. Again, more of which in April. We're going to expand our template offering. So there's going to be some new templates, and you'll have seen Catherine's post on the page asking for your requests. I don't know. I said to Catherine, what do we do with this? Do we do a poll? Do we just throw the floor open? I don't know. Anyway, go back through the feed, find that poll, request, tell us what you want, and we'll see if we can do it. I'm not promising everybody who asks will get, but there will be some extension to the templates. Definitely 3 more around about April time, probably another 3 by the summer. And we're going to try and use that template offering through stanfordgouldonline.co.uk to try and give you some more cost-effective solutions. When people just do not have the budget, I totally get that. For bespoke advice, for bespoke contracts, we're trying to find some things that we can provide to you through that site that are low cost, simple, but helpful. Please go and have a look at what's there, because there's quite a lot of stuff there. If you've already bought your terms and conditions, go and have a look at the other templates. Again, there'll be additions to that. And we're going to keep blogging, so hopefully that's going to be probably the most likely way in which we'll get stuff out to you guys. We've got some guest blogs lined up, some interesting people bubbling away. It won't all be about law. God, thank God, I'm sure you're all saying. But there's going to be some stuff in there that is going to be useful, interesting, and particularly as I said, as we start to see an easing of lockdown and things start to move forward, hopefully we'll start to have some content that's actually about doing your job, actually about delivering fabulous weddings. And goodness knows, I'm sure you're keen to hear a bit more about how that works, with a legal twist to it. Okay, but God, crikey, we all want to get going, don't we? We all want to get going again. And hopefully what Team SG will be doing is supporting that restart as much as we can, even if it's just, yay, come on guys, let's just go for it. Okay, so that's what will be happening in the coming weeks. We've got a lot of irons in fires in terms of partnering up with people to provide advice for their members, and similarly to get you guys to look at their offerings. Very, very, very pleased to tell you, for all the photographers amongst us, that we're just in the finalised stages of tying up with Studio Ninja. They'll be a brand that any of the photographers in the group or on the page will know about. Fabulous Australian-based company actually, who have really specialised specific kit for client relationship management and other interesting things, back office software for photographers, and we're joining them as one of their partners, and there'll be some offers and some promotions about that, and those are all coming soon. So photographers, keep your eyes open. If you're already using Studio Ninja, you'll start to see us appear on their pages for partnership, and similarly they will start to appear in our feed, and we're really delighted with that. Thank you, Sally, who's leading the conversation with me from their side. It's going to be exciting, and there are more people on that particular similar partnership list that we're going to be talking to, and all of this will start to unfold as the weeks and months come along. We've done a podcast this month. That, you know me, I always love to talk. I'm a lawyer, I get paid by the hour, and I can talk for as long as you like. But doing a podcast this week with the lovely Donna Eade, who is the founder of the Society of Professional Wedding Vendors, and we are that's going to be promoted and out there during the course of the next 2-3 weeks before Easter. And again, you'll see about that, but you can hear me prattling on another forum. If you want to join us for the podcast, Donna and that society would, I'm sure, love to see you. There's lots more to come. We've got, I say, irons in fires. We are going to be adding some jargon busting information. So I get a lot of people who get the templates. and say, I don't understand these clauses, Heather. And in fact, that was one of the requests. I think it was Adam who put a request into the feed. Adam from Keith Up Catering, hello, put a request in the feed, said, could we have something that sort of explains this? It's coming. You will have that before the end of the month, maybe, but certainly in April. What else are we doing? We're going to have guest blogs. We've talked about that. And finally, in terms of new stuff, we are going to be giving back. Oh God, that sounds terribly band-aid-ish, isn't it? I don't mean it to be trite at all, but we are going to find a way to support something other than our pockets in this activity, and we've linked up with the charity FareShare, who may be familiar names to you, thinking, oh, I know that. Now, FareShare are a national charity who support food banks and food distribution sites and the redistribution of food. So that's stuff like excess things that are available from Tesco's and Morrison's and other supermarkets are available, and they redistribute it through a national network of food banks. They may be familiar to you because they're the charity that's been highlighted and supported so marvellously by Marcus Rashford during the course of lockdown. So we, Stanford Gould, thought we better find a charity that was national, because we deal with people who are not just in our neck of the woods. So we're supporting FareShare. There's going to be options to, we are going to support them by earmarking a certain amount of money every time you buy a template for terms. That money is going to go to FareShare from our business. You're also going to get the option, if you want to, and it's going to be entirely voluntary, if you want to donate when you buy one of our products, you'll be given that option as well. Trying to work out the tech of that at the moment. It's like hurting my brain because there's so many things to think about, but it's coming, and that will probably be live as the new templates come into play. And we're hoping we're going to raise a load of money for them. Fabulous cause. We will promote them through the site and through these social media pages in due course. And once we've got that bit of tech set up, we'll perhaps talk about some other events or fundraising activity that we will be cheerleading them for, that you might want to choose to get involved, you may choose to support, or you may just choose to enjoy watching. That's fine. And one of those things might be a bit more of a social gathering for which there might be a charge. And I'm thinking off the top of my head, because I can know Catherine's watching this going, she's never mentioned this to me. I'm thinking about maybe getting a gathering together, ticket price, we'd all go to the charity when the summer season has finished. So I'm not talking about immediately, but perhaps the back end of the season. It can only be in one location, obviously, but if you were available and if you wanted to come, you could come and have a blooming well-deserved drink, support a charity. Perhaps we'll have a little bit of a do. That's what I've vaguely got in mind. So you heard it here first, because not even Team SG knew that was coming. Sometimes I get on the feed and it just all pops out of my mouth, and then I think, oh, now I have to actually deliver this. But it's going to happen. But it won't be until the autumn. Let's get this roadmap of Boris's unfurled. Let's see what new challenges that presents to us. Let's get the summer weddings that, my God, we're so desperate to get going on, done. And then let's see where we are come the back end of September, when hopefully the main season starts to calm down, and things are starting to shape into something hopefully that looks a little bit more like normal for weddings. NFW. I might even retain that hashtag, NFW, normal for weddings. So that is, in a nutshell, what's going on. Let me just check the comments on the feed. Hi, Alison. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Jenny. Thanks for joining us. We've not spoken for a while. I'm glad you're good. So there are, there's quite a few people on the live, so that's great. And thank you for joining me. It's so lovely to see people. As I said, if you've enjoyed or it's been useful, blue button it down there with that little thumbs up. Stay with us as we move through into this new shape and new delivery and slightly different stuff. As I've slightly alluded to at the beginning of this, I've got some domestic challenges on my plate at the moment, and that's going to mean that I am going to be a little bit invisible for the next month or so, I think. In some places, the team will keep on carrying that baton, as I've said, and that's fantastic. But be kind to one another, be safe, be a little relieved, because my goodness me, I think we deserve it. And I really hope that the summer does open up into something that absolutely we can all grab very firmly and enjoy getting back to some normality. Thank you again for all of the support that you've provided to me and to my businesses. Thank you to the fabulous Team SG, who are doing a blooming marvellous job. And to all you guys out there, just keep on keeping on. We've got some light at the end of the tunnel. I don't for one second think we're out of the woods. There's lots of challenges yet to come, and still some very significant legal challenges. But keep on keeping on. There's a route. I will continue to help where I can within the boundaries of some change. And I really, really, really appreciate your support. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Enjoy. And hopefully I'll be back with you shortly, probably back into April. And I'll pop up again and we'll have another update on where we are. So enjoy your weekend, guys. Lovely to chat. And thank you for listening. Thanks a lot. Take care.